Alrighty, guys, welcome back to another video. I am sitting here with Dylan, who is one of my students inside the six-figure Accelerator program. Dylan joined us not so long ago. He's got a very interesting story. He's had some, I would say, some good SMMA success relatively quickly on in his journey. So I think there's a lot to learn from Dylan in terms of his mindset when he was starting, what actually worked for him, like what strategies did he take to actually get clients. So yeah, guys, we're just going to sit down and have a chat. First off, Dylan can just kind of introduce himself, explain a little bit about where he's at with his business now. And to you, Dylan, thank you for hopping on.
No problem. Thanks for having me. My business at the moment, we're working with restaurants. We've got 4 clients just now. And we're bringing in about £1,500 a month, which is about $2,000 per month. So I think I joined the course, it was about 3 weeks ago, or maybe just over 3 weeks ago. And I think I signed my first client within about 5 days, something like that. So I kind of started my outreach probably a little bit too early, but it kind of worked. So I've had a bit of experience with social media and stuff as well. So I felt quite confident to just, start the outreach a little bit early. And then, I kind of done the course for a little, while I was getting the clients and stuff as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, it worked. Yeah.
Nice. And I like that where you mentioned you kind of started outreach too early, right? Because a lot of people, it does take a bit of time, right? They have to spend the first couple of weeks really getting their head right, getting their service dialed in, the niche they're going to work with and all of those things. But like that, if you can figure all those things out very, very quickly, well, then you can be in a very similar scenario to you, where when you join, you can pretty much just hit the ground running, right? You can just get straight into the work and obviously just get your name out there. So cool, man. I think there's lots to dive into. So 4 clients roughly paying you, is it about $500 each when you break it down?
Roughly about that. Cool. I think roughly about £400, around about that.
Perfect. Yeah. And in terms of pricing then, Dylan, because this is quite an interesting one. A lot of people, when they start off with like, 1,000 per month, 1,500 per month per client, right? Just as a beginner. Now, I personally don't agree with it that much. I think you should more go down your route of just go slightly lower where it still makes sense, right? You're still making money and you're still getting paid enough for your time. But do that so you can get the clients in quickly. You can prove to yourself that it's working and you can actually start getting results. But do you have any plans to increase your price, for your next batch of clients, or what are you thinking on that front?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the first client that I got, I probably did underprice her, to be honest with you. But she had 2 restaurants, so I gave her a bit of a discount. Cool. I think, as you said, I think when you first start, it's probably best to go in a little bit lower to try and get your first couple of clients. And then, you can build a case study from that as well, and you can get them good results. I'm looking at charging a little bit more, because now I can show kind of what I can do now. Sure. And I'm definitely looking to do that. But I do offer usually the full package, which is just everything, like social media management. So you're looking at growth strategies, and obviously posting, stories, posts, things like that as well. So just a full kind of package.
Full package. Yeah. Cool, man. Cool. Like you said, you get the client in, you get good results, build out that case study, and then you're going to be in a nice little position for just pitching people on a higher retainer now, because you got the proof to stand behind what you're actually doing. And you got that proof to validate your price. Whereas if you just say it's $1,000 a month and you've got no results, no experience, it can still happen, right? I've seen many people do it, but it's a lot harder. It's just going to take that little bit extra. And that kind of brings us on to results. So what has worked well for your clients? Because a lot of people who follow me are quite interested in social media management and content creation. Some people like ads, but is there any kind of standout strategies that you've used? Obviously, you don't have to give away any secrets or anything like that, but just any tips you have for people.
With restaurants, I think stories is really good. So, for example, I put 2 dishes in the stories, and then I would put which one would you pick, or which one's your favorite, things like that. And I think I've got about 3,000 followers, and that story I think, a usual story would maybe reach 200 or 300 from those 3,000 people, but I think that one reached 1,000 of the followers.
Wow.
So that did really well. So things, using polls and just something that the customer can kind of interact with is definitely huge. And obviously you've got posts of the food and stuff as well, but I think for restaurant stories is definitely the way to go. It definitely helps. Yeah.
Cool, man. Cool. That's a really good tip. That's actually something we recommend to our clients as well.
Yeah.
Inside my agency, it's make it interactive. If you're just posting stuff and it's just a photo and it's just a video and there's no interaction, it's just why would people keep watching? Or if they keep watching, they're just going to scroll through it really fast. Whereas what you've done is a great example. Compare and contrast, polarize two dishes and make the customer or potential customer make that choice. Which one are you going to pick?
That's the thing as well. When you put a post up, then they're more likely to see your post as well because they've already interacted with your story. Yeah. So it pushes your post to more people as well, which is huge.
Man. Defo. Yeah, that's a big tip right there. Also, another thing with that, Dylan, is we kind of recommend this to our clients. Now, for restaurants, it can still work. It mightn't work as well. But when we work with, let's say, online fitness coaches, right? A lot of what they're doing is high ticket, right? So they're selling coaching for, it could start at 300 a month, 400 a month. Okay. So for them, the value of a customer is quite high. And so one thing we actually do with them, Dylan, is very similar to what you said, right? Put up loads of polls, lots of quizzes, lots of engaging content so that when people vote on those things, we can now interact with them, right? Let's say we put up a poll as a fitness coach and it's like, would you prefer 10 minutes of cardio a day or to eat, 300 less calories every day? And we just get them to vote on it. And from there, it's very easy to start a conversation, such as, thanks for voting on my poll. Saw that you were super interested in cardio. What's your favorite routine right now? And then just like our outreach, that kicks off the conversation and they can go ahead and pitch. So something for yourself, Dylan, maybe you can explore that with the restaurants and maybe you could tie it back to, hey, thanks for voting on the poll. By the way, we've got like a new menu or a special offer or a discount running right now. Check it out.
Yeah. No, I'll definitely start using that. Especially if they're doing offers or things like that. You can maybe put up, we're doing an offer. Are you interested? Something like that. And then if they interact, you can maybe send them a message, things like that.
Defo, man.
Good. That's good.
Cool. So like that's your service, right? We've kind of covered the pricing that you're doing as well. With your niche is quite an interesting one, Dylan, because most people start off kind of similar to myself, where we work with mainly like online businesses, right? So I work with like online coaches, supplement companies, e-commerce brands. So it's very much digital. It's very much online. What kind of made you gear towards restaurants? Was there anything that stood out to you?
Well, this will actually come onto your course as well. The reason that I've done restaurants is because I thought about doing it before, and I did another course with someone else, and they only focused on Facebook ads. And I reached out to business, well, only restaurants, and it's very, as you said, it's very, very hard to go in with no experience to sell them and say, £2,000 a month. They're like, well, and that person did that course didn't even mention social media management. So I just thought, this isn't going to work. Until I came across you on TikTok. I watched you for a couple of months, and then I just kind of went, I'm going to go for it because I feel like I can definitely help with social media management. The course has definitely helped with that, and I think as well with the social media management, it's just easier to sell, really. And then obviously you can look at Facebook ads, but you can sell them social media management and then look at upselling them to, Facebook ads as well.
Yeah, 100%, man. 100%. There's actually a few students we have in the program doing that exact thing that you mentioned, right? So pitch social media, get them in. And if you're getting good results after, let's say 2 or 3 months, it's easier now to upsell because you've proven yourself, you're getting good results. And one thing as well that, a lot of people seem to skip is that ads are great when the organic is working. So if your social media is working, right, and it's getting the business followers, it's getting new leads, it's getting them new customers, amazing. Because that just means if we run ads, we're running ads to something that's actually working, right? Like it's proven to work. Whereas when you're pitching to a business that, oh, we'll just run ads, if they only have like 2 photos on Instagram and 5 followers, well, like that ad, even if it's great, it's not going to resonate that much, because, you know, when people see an ad, they usually click through the social media to have a quick look at the business, see what they're doing, see what they're all about. And if there's nothing going on there and it's inactive and dead, even if the ad is amazing, it's probably not going to convert that well. So that's something I like to mention to people, because, you know, there is a bit of a fixation, I think, on ads, you know, in the SMMA world. Like, everybody thinks that's the only thing you can do, whereas like you can do so many things. You can do what Dylan's doing, and you can do something else.
Yeah, I wasn't confident either, you know, and I think I probably came across not confident when I was speaking to restaurant owners, but with social media management, I knew before I even had a client that I can get them results. And the reason I knew as well, I actually had I've got like an online running community, and I run it myself. And actually, it's not really a business. We do like challenges and things like that. And I actually started outsourcing the growth strategies for that. And I didn't even realize that I was doing that. I just thought, oh, you know, someone's just helping me with my Instagram. But now I realized, I was actually outsourcing that because I wanted to spend time doing other things. And that's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm currently outsourcing the growth strategies, and I'm doing the content planning and creating at the moment. But hopefully I can start to, you know, pass that on as well to someone else soon.
Amazing, man. Yeah. And I think with the cash flow you're going to be at, you know, you're going to be able to do that. The fact that you've got to that mark where it's around 2K per month, it's pretty good, right? Because it obviously gives you that leg up now where you can pay someone 200 or 300 extra per month so that they can start taking more of that work off of you. You can do more outreach, you can get more sales calls booked in, and you can just keep scaling up that way as well. And something to kind of think about, Dylan, as you start that process is just being clear on your profit margin. So having a rough idea of what you want that margin to be. So for my agency, we've always kind of stuck around 70%. I think it's a healthy level. It's not too high, it's not too low. It's that fine balance between the two. But just something for yourself to think about that as you start that. So when you're hiring people, make sure they fit in to that margin. You know, if they're going to blow your margins down to 40%, okay, maybe you need to find someone who can do it slightly cheaper, or you can increase your price. You just have to balance the two out.
I think I'm trying to stick to about 70%. That's kind of my goal. And try and keep building and try and get more clients. I'm outsourcing my outreach as well. It's a tough task. It's not the nicest task. So as soon as I kind of brought in a bit of money, I'm just going to pass this on. I still jump on sometimes, but I've got someone doing it. I think she works for an hour a day, and she's sending DMs out every day for me. So I've passed.
Awesome. That's good to hear. It's like the first one that I recommend you go for. It's outreach, because of just how tedious it is. You know, it was
you that said that to me. I think after my second client, you went, okay, you know, you should start outsourcing a bit of work. So that was good. And obviously with your one-to-one as well, you know, going through things with me, it's been really helpful. Really has.
Cool, man. Good stuff. And with that, then, with your virtual assistant, Dylan, how much are you paying that person?
$3 an hour.
Cool.
For the outreach. Sweet. And she's doing an hour a day. So I think she does like 30 minutes each day.
Amazing, man. Amazing. You know, that's a total of probably $90 per month. That's what, like maybe £70, something like that. You're literally getting 30 hours back of your life, which is pretty amazing.
That's it. I mean, if you can get 1 or 2 clients from it, you know, it's worth it. Definitely.
100%, man. 100%. Yeah, that's amazing, man. And you know, it's a very simple process then of, if that's working, we just scale it up. You know, if it's working, you can do more time on your first account, or you can actually have a second account. You know, this is something that I do recommend you have when you're scaling your outreach, because if you're spending way too much time on one account, you know, and you're doing, let's say, 2 hours of outreach on your personal account every day, that will eventually get flagged and something will happen there, where we want to just minimize that. So, you know, having a second account is a nice, easy way where, you just create like a backup. You know, you literally just say, hey, it's Dylan Hanna's backup account. You follow a few people, do a little bit of a growth strategy for a week or two, build it up, and then boom, you've got yourself a second account to run with. So
yeah, that's it. I kind of let her do it in blocks just so I don't get blocked. But yeah, I mean, I've not done a backup account yet, but I think it's definitely a good idea because I think I've been blocked a couple of times now. So I'll need to do that, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, good to do it now while you're ahead as well. You know, while you have the time and before your account does get blocked or anything like that. Cool, man. So like, in terms of tools, this is something I wanted to ask you. Is there any tools that you're using specifically for the social media and for the content? Any ones that you want to share with us?
Yeah. So for the content planning, I'm using Buffer. Cool. So that's just a really good tool to use. And it's, you know, it is getting a bit much for me just now. Like, you know, I think I've got 4 clients at the moment and I'm doing it all on my own. So I'm thinking about obviously someone else just to help with me. I can still do some, but maybe get someone else, and obviously they can join my Buffer account and they can put stuff out and stuff for me as well. But that's what I'm using for the planning with the content. For creation, I'm using Canva, nice. and I pay for the Pro Canva as well. But I really like Canva. It's nice. It's easy to use as well.
Yeah, man, 100%. Like, it's funny when Dylan, Canva used to be not so good. So when we used it like probably 2 years ago, we actually had all of our designers use Photoshop because Canva just wasn't at that level where things looked good. You know, you could tell it was from Canva. It was like something in Photoshop and in Canva, very different things. But they've come such a long way. And I agree with you. Like, the stuff that you can do in there now is phenomenal. And like that, it's so cheap, like €10 or something a month. We've actually started, some of our designers just use Canva now. Like, some of them don't even have Photoshop. And we've also got 2 video editors that do most of their work in Canva as well, because there's the video section in Canva. So cool, man. That's awesome. And I think getting someone on to help on that side will be pretty key. I'd say some form of a content creator is probably that next step for yourself, because you've got the outreach semi-sorted. And I think just having someone who can create some of the content means that you can still plan the content yourself while you're kind of just taking the work from someone else and putting it all together.
Yeah, no, I definitely want to put that into place. So maybe get another 1 or 2 clients, and then once I get to that stage, I'll definitely look at it. But it comes to Sunday night, and I'm like, oh no, I need to create all this content for Monday, and I'm bad for leaving it to the last minute, to be honest. So it's definitely better for someone else to do it, to be honest.
Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. Like, that's the beauty of a business as well, right? Is that like you do things that sometimes may not be enjoyable, but once you've done them enough, you realize how to build a system out of that, what to do, what not to do, what to look out for. And you can start handing it off. Exactly what you've done with outreach. Like, that's the beauty of it. Is that the things you don't like doing, you just do them for a short period of time. You prove that they work, and then you just give it to someone else. So it can be a truly, truly beautiful thing. Dylan, something I wanted to ask you about was kind of like mindset and just like tips for getting going, because you obviously started like straight away, right? You joined, and you were the opposite of someone who joins and does nothing. You came in, took action, you did outreach, you were on it from day one, and you were asking for help, and you were just putting in the work. So is there anything that kind of helped you do that? Was there any kind of like mindsets, motivations you had, or was it just a simple case of you decided, look, I'm joining this, I'm committing to this, and I'm just going to do the work?
Yeah, that, and also, like, I'm 24 now, and I've worked 9 till 5, since I was 17. Started working about 17. I've did sales jobs and customer service roles, and I quit my job, I think it was in April this year, and I had a few months off, and I was just like, right, I can't go back to doing a job. I said, I can't do it. And I just went, I'm just going to go for it, take action, and just stay consistent, stay persistent, and that's what I've done. But that was it, really. My main driver is just, I can't go back to the 9 to 5. I absolutely hate it. So that's really the main thing. Obviously, fitness and health helps a lot as well, definitely. So I run a lot, I play football, so I'm a fit guy. So waking up early as well is a good thing, and just staying fit. But yeah, the main thing is just I don't want to do the 9 to 5, really. Yeah.
Love it, man. Love it. And
Yeah.
it can be that simple, right? It doesn't have to be some crazy complex motivation. It can be as simple as, I like to call that one, Dylan, negative motivation. So it's like, instead of something you want, it's something you don't want. So I don't want the 9 to 5, so I'm going to put in the work now. Cool, man. And I guess one thing I'd want to ask you as well, I usually ask this to people, is like, what would be your advice for, okay, we've got 2 types of people, okay? We've got person number 1, who doesn't really know anything, right? They don't really know much about marketing. They've never really built up a social media page themselves, and they want to get started. And then person number 2 is someone who, very similar to yourself, has done a little bit of social media, right? Maybe it's building up your own personal page or your own community. You've done something, but you just don't know how to make it into a business. Do you have kind of any like general advice for those 2 people?
Yeah, for the first one is, there's free content everywhere. Just try and learn as much as possible. Before I started this online community of runners, I didn't really have much of a clue. So it's just try and build something like that, and just learn as much as possible. And then once you feel like you're ready, go for it, definitely. Number 2, I would say, if you've already got a little bit of experience, don't wait about. I think there's not a perfect time to wait. Just go for it, I think. And the thing is as well, obviously I invested in your course, but within 5 days I made my money back. So, and the thing is as well, obviously it's not going to happen with everyone,
of course,
but if you need that one-to-one help, you're always there as well. And it's you as well, because you're literally sending voice notes and helping you through it. You spend time and you help people. So yeah, that would be my advice.
And apologies to anyone watching this. I think we've had a couple of glitches throughout this, so hopefully the video comes out okay. No, but that's awesome stuff, man. That's some good advice in there. I think we got some decent tips as well on like what's actually working for your clients, and how you're able to start that process now of outsourcing work and building some of those systems as well. So yeah, man, in terms of if people want to connect with you, maybe they want to ask you some questions, or maybe they just want to follow you, right, and just see what this Dylan guy is up to, whether it's your running community, whatever it may be, where can they find you?
So on Instagram, my handle is the Scottish Runner. And if you've got any questions, about your course, or any questions about marketing, anything like that, I can certainly help you. That'll be absolutely fine.
Cool, man. Cool. Well, yeah, man, look, that's pretty much everything. I think we've covered it all there, but like, if there's any other tips you want to give to people before we go, awesome. And if not, thank you for coming on, Dylan. Guys, if you're watching this, I hope you got some value. Definitely, drop some comments, let Dylan know if you got some value from this, and of course, reach out to him on Instagram if you do have any questions.